I guess the moral of the video is don't get too excited. Boy, I was excited when I seen a four-wheel drive 2500 with less than 200,000 miles on it that I could probably get for 3,500. Your boy got excited. I really got to stay off Facebook Marketplace. I just found a screaming deal on a 2500 Chevrolet, and I kind of hope she doesn't take what I'm going to offer her for it. And if she does, then I might finally have a tow rig. I'll keep you updated. Well, unfortunately, that thing was a turd. Or fortunately, I didn't really wake up this morning thinking I was going to buy a truck, but I seen it. It looked like a good deal, so I figured I'd go check it out at least. It's kind of the perfect storm. The title was messed up. It doesn't look as good as it did in the ad. The lady owned a camper, so I was hoping it was one of those deals where they just had the truck, you know, just for moving the camper and everything. But she had recently bought it, and she bought it from some kid whose dad died, and it's one of those. It was all messed up. You got a wheel and all that, and I didn't want to deal with it. It was rougher than I thought. The title was in her name. She signed the title, so it was a double transfer. It's nothing you want to mess with. It wasn't a nice enough truck to deal with it. I mean, it seemed like a good deal. She had 45 on the ad, and I said, well, if she'll take 35, then I'll probably buy it. And I haven't even talked to her about price, and just standing there in some awkward silence, she was like, I'll take 35. So I could have probably got her down to 3, but it was just too much. There was just too much going on. The title was messed up. The ignition key, I couldn't figure out. She somehow had the magic touch of being able to do it, but I fiddled with it for 5 minutes and I couldn't get it. It wasn't in that great a shape. The interior looked like bums had been living in it, and the name on the back of the title, the last owner name was Tyler. So, I mean, if that don't run you off of a deal, I don't know what will. And I was like, I got a young kid on this. You can tell it's got switches, it's got spray paint everywhere. Like, you can tell a high school kid owned it. Sure enough, back of the title, Tyler. It popped up. It seemed like a good price, so I figured I'd go check it out. It was a 2002 Chevrolet 2500 with 6.0. On the ad, it said she originally wanted 5 for it, and then she had it marked down to 45. And I said, well, hey, if I go take her 35 and she takes it, I mean, that's a pretty good deal. Oh, and it's a 4-wheel drive. So I figured I'd go check it out. The pictures look decent. You always got to post that picture from the best side of the vehicle. But I pulled up, noticed one of the tires was flat. It had way more dents in it than what I thought it would have. I mean, you can look at a vehicle and tell if it's been cared for. If you go to buy something and the interior is just absolutely trashed, what do you think the motor's going to be? They didn't take care of the interior. You think they took care of the motor? You think they were diligent enough to do all the oil changes and take care of all the little things that a vehicle needs to run right? Absolutely not. I was looking at it and I was like, you know, first question is how long you had it? Who'd you get it from? She hadn't had it long. She bought it from some guy. What I was thinking of, you know, oh, it's just an old lady who owns it. That goes out the window. I seen it had painted bumpers. I seen it had light switches on the inside, you know, the little flicky ones, it was just screaming high school kid. It was this kid Tyler's dad's truck who died, so there was a will, there was a death certificate, all that, and she had signed the title, so it's a double transfer. Unless she takes that title to the DMV and gets it put in her name, and then tries to sell the truck, it's going to be a double title. I tried to explain that to her. You know, people, I don't know, for some reason people don't like to hear. You know, they just think they know it. I don't know. Something about old people. I don't know. I try to tell her, I say, hey, look, you'd be better suited going down the DMV, spending $100 or whatever it is, have this thing put in your name, and then you can sell it, and there'll be no questions asked, because she's not going to be able to sell that truck with a double transfer. I've never done a double transfer. I'm not that dumb, I guess you could say. I've heard nothing but bad things about double transfers, and these days with the price of everything going up, and, you know, I got this truck back from my dad. I'd had it at one time. I gave it back to him because I didn't need it. We went to do the swap on it, and just an act of donation. It was, I want to say it was like 200 and something, 250 bucks to get that truck titled. And that's just a straight, like, hey, me and my dad are sitting right there. Like, that's not a double transfer. I can only imagine what a double transfer costs. It's got to be upwards of $500. Gotta be. There ain't no way. There ain't no way it ain't. And she was like, oh, well, I called the DMV, because I told her, I was like, because that's another one of my first questions when I go to buy something. Whose name is the title in? And if they say, oh, it's in my name, then we're good. She's like, I never had it titled. I was like, well, whose name is the title in? She's like, oh, it's still in the people. I've got all the paperwork. I said, did you sign it? Yeah, I signed it. I've got a bill of sale. You got to have a bill of sale in Louisiana. No, you don't. The title is a bill of sale in Louisiana. But I don't know. She may have been right because of the death certificate and everything, but you don't need a bill of sale to sell a vehicle in Louisiana. Another thing, she wouldn't listen. I mean, I've only bought a buttload of vehicles. I'm not Mr. Wheeler Dealer, but I have bought my fair share in my time, and I can tell you, you don't have to have a bill of sale in Louisiana. I think it even says on the title, this acts as a bill of sale or something like that on it. So man, I'm gonna have to do some working out or something, because I can't hold this camera up more than 5 seconds. But anyway, moral of the story is I passed on it. It's too many red flags, way too many red flags. It had a weird like thump, thump, thump. It didn't sound like exhaust leak. Actually, that was my first indicator that it was a young kid's truck, because it had loud pipes on it. And then I looked in, I seen the old Bigfoot light bar switches, painted bumpers, and the interior. I just don't understand how people can trash the interior of vehicles. I'll never understand it until the day I die. I'll never understand it. It doesn't take much to not be nasty. You don't even have to do anything. You just have to not be nasty. It's literally all you have to do. Clean it up. Keep it clean. All right, I did my 30 seconds on that hand. I gotta go back over here. Cutting it short. I know you didn't see any pictures of it. I'll try to post a picture of it, but I'm not comfortable enough to be like, hey, can I take a video of me trying to buy your truck? It's kind of dumb. I guess the moral of the video is don't get too excited. Boy, I was excited when I seen a four-wheel drive 2500 with less than 200,000 miles on it that I could probably get for 3,500. Your boy got excited. Whew. I even told my wife about it. I was like, babe, we need this. Had her on board. Gotta pump your brakes sometimes. Let your gut tell you what it is. Sometimes you just gotta know when to walk away. Just like Kenny Rogers said. All right, y'all have a good